Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As you know me, Miss Timbi Motaung, and for today I would like us to go through chapter 11, marketing and diffusion of innovation, or dissemination of innovation if you like. As always, you can go through the internet learning outcomes so you know what is expected of you in this chapter. Alright, let's start by defining what marketing is. A number of ways that you can define marketing. However, for the purpose of this chapter in this class, I would like us to concentrate on the two definitions given by Nell. The first one, he says, marketing is action or business of promoting and selling products or services, and it also includes marketing, research, and advertising. Now, the second one is marketing is concerned with the exchange of goods, services, technologies, business systems, information, concepts, and ideas between buyers and sellers. What this definition or these definitions say to us is that if you are going to be a good marketer, you need to be able to do your research. You need to be able to advertise your products and your services. You need to make people want to consume your products and services, but also you need to establish a relationship between yourself and your consumers. Now, in establishing that good relationship between yourself and your consumers, it means you need to research, you need to check what is it that your consumers want to consume, what is it that they prefer. You cannot just sell them anything at any time. You need to sell them what they will be using in the future. That is marketing definition. Okay, now there is no marketing without management. It is extremely important to manage what you do, when you do it, and how you do it. Now, marketing management, it includes planning around your products. It includes executing the plans that you have, and just know how you're going to price your product and what impacts the price of your product. How are you going to promote your product? And if you need to distribute your product, how are you going to distribute it? How are your customers going to reach your product? That is important. But also marketing management speaks of satisfying both your customer and the organizational objectives. In satisfying your customer, it means that you need to know what they want. You need to satisfy both their needs and their wants. With organizational objectives, remember, an organization exists because they want to make profits. They exist because they want to be on the map. They want to be known. Now, the main purpose of their existence, your marketing tool has to tap into that. Marketers have to know exactly why the organization exists and try to modify or market a product towards achieving those strategic objectives. But you also need to achieve the financial objectives. The organization exists because they want to make money. Now, marketers make money for your organization. The other question you'd ask yourself is, what is the role of marketing in the whole scheme of things? What is marketing? Why do we need to market so much? Why do we need to spend so much money in marketing when people can just buy your product and use it? You want to market because you want to influence people's demand for specific products. You want to influence people to want to consume your product. People, they can eat anything they want. They can wear anything they want. They can use any form of transportation to take them from point A to point B. But as a marketer, your role is to make them want to use your transportation, want to consume your food. If you are Woolies, why should they buy your food over ShopRite? As a marketer, force people to demand, or rather to want to use your products. But also what is important in marketing is to ensure your customers are satisfied at all times. That is, if you want to be competitive, if you want to stay in the competitive edge, you have to ensure that your customers are forever satisfied with your products. In ensuring that your customers are satisfied with your products, it means you also need to ensure the product line, the production line, is everything in good quality in the production line. But also, you need to reduce operating costs, and in reducing operating costs, it speaks to employing skillful people. Don't just employ people for the sake of them doing something, but employ people that have the love for what they do. Employ people that can use their skills, that can use their abilities and expertise to give you the end product that customers would want to use. All right, the role of technical people that you can go through in your spare time. You just need to know what is the role of a workshop manager in marketing process. What is the role of a project manager? What is the role of an engineer in production line that you can go through. All right. One other thing that is important in marketing is, like I said, establishing a relationship with your customers, a lifelong relationship with your customers. Now, how do you establish a long relationship with your customers and maintain it? It means that as a marketer, you need to ensure that not only do your customers buy one product from you, you need to have sales, a number of sales. If they buy something today, they need to buy tomorrow as well. They also need to buy in the next 5 years. When they think of buying something, they should think of your product. When they think of jumping ship as customers from one shop to another, they should think of all the benefits that they get from consuming your product. Now you need to maintain that relationship. And also, if you do maintain that relationship, rest assured, you have your customers' loyalty for life. So it is important to create that value exchange relationship with your customers. Now, value exchange model speaks of two important components in marketing. The first component is your customers. Remember, people don't just buy products for the sake of buying products. They buy products because they invest. They invest their money. They invest their feelings. Because remember, when you are a customer, you get to be attached to a product. For instance, you speak to your Samsung loyal customers, they will tell you every time, it does not matter whether Samsung has problems today, as your media would tell you, but if they are loyal customers to Samsung, they will buy Samsung whether Samsung has problems or not, because they've got that vested emotional feelings, emotional attachment to the product. So remember, your customers invest not only money but their feelings as well. So they want benefits. They want to derive some benefits from your product. But also, as a provider, a service provider, as a company, as an organization, you also make investments from the design of your product. Now, how do you invest? You invest through your material, the kind of material you use to produce whatever that you produce. The labor that you use to produce a product is important. Do you have infrastructure? Do you have enough space to produce? Do you have the right equipments to produce whatever that you need to produce, so that at the end your customers are satisfied? That is what marketing is all about. But also, what is important in marketing are the principles that all marketers need to adhere to. The first principle is your marketing mix. By definition, marketing mix refers to tools a marketer can use to influence target customers. Now, your marketing mix consists of 4 things: the product itself, the price of the product, the place or the distribution channel, as well as the promotional strategy. A good marketer would know that in the marketing mix, you need to know your product. What are you going to promote? What are you going to market? Why do you need to market such? Why did you select such a product? Once you have done that, you need to determine the price of that product. And what influences the price? You will check your product. And then you have now a finished product that needs to be sold. How do your customers get hold of your product? Where do they go? Do you deliver the product? Or can they get the product in different stores? You need to let your customers know such a thing. But also important in the marketing mix is your promotional strategy. You can have a good product. Price-wise, your product can be very good. In terms of distribution channel, your product can also be very good. But if you do not have a promotional strategy in place, your product is as good as non-existent. So you need to have a strong promotional strategy, bearing in mind as well that you have competition. Your product is not the only product that people want to use or want to buy. There's always other competitors that want to sell the same product. So you need to have a good promotional strategy. Important to note in the marketing mix is any change in any of the 4 marketing mix will have an impact on the other. For instance, if you modify your product, the price obviously will change. Your promotional strategy will also change. That is the first marketing principle, which is the marketing mix. The second marketing principle to consider as a marketer is market segmentation. You can have a product that can be consumed by everyone, but it's always advisable to segment, to divide your customers. And how you divide them, you can divide them geographically. Where do your customers stay? And the geographical area, does your product speak to their geographical area? For instance, how do you sell a gas gin to somebody who stays in the rural areas? For instance, they're not into brands. They just want to wear something comfortable, not branded. But if you talk of psychographical aspect of your customers, then you can talk about your guest jeans. You can talk about your Levi, because of the personalities of your customers, because of their lifestyle. For instance, in the Val today, a lot of people are your tenderpreneurs, right? Their lifestyle is up there. So your product should speak to what they want people to see them with. Your product should speak to their personalities. These are outspoken people. These are people that are out there. They want to be seen driving most expensive cars. They want to be seen mingling with people that wear branded clothes and all that. So you need to speak to such a person. Demographical aspects are also important. Your products cannot speak to everyone, all ages, gender, occupation, status, position. You need to know who are your customers demographical wise. Young people, old people. Do you want to sell your products to executives, or do you want to sell your products to just an ordinary person? You need to know such things. The third one is target marketing. Once you have segmented your customers, now you need to target just one customer, just a group of customers. And in targeting that group of customers, it means your product must be appropriate to such a segmented target. Like the example that I just made, if you want to sell something expensive, if you want to sell the latest Mac, who is your target? And does Mac today speak to what your customers want? Is the price affordable to that targeted segment? You don't just want to sell something expensive and nobody gets to buy it. If anyone buys it, there's only 5 people that can buy. I mean, you do have such shops in Senton where the shop is just for a few, for the few, and those few people can buy that. But you bring such a shop to Vanderbilt Park, obviously you will not have a target, you will not have customers for such a product. So the price should speak to the kind of market that you want. Is your product easily available, or do people have to wait 5 years to get your product? Is it easily available? Do they have to drive 2 hours to get their hands on your product? What message are you trying to send to your customers? What message are you trying to send to the entire community when you sell such a product? Think about such things when you target your market. Think about such things when you want your product to be out there, your product to be known. These are the most important things when it comes to marketing. Marketing services. It's okay to have a good product. It's okay to have an affordable product and to have a product that is easily available for everyone to consume, for a product that has a message. But also what is important are the 3 P's. First, the people that sell the product, the people that promote the product. Their personality, their behavior is important, their attitude is important. If you have a bad attitude, you know that your product will not go anywhere. But if you sell a product with a smile, even if you have things in your mind that occupy your mind, even if you are stressed, but you know when you come across a customer, you need to put up a smile and sell a product. That smile will be one thing that sells your product more than anything. When it comes to the processes in selling a product, you know, you always have, you strive as a marketer or as an organization, you strive towards reducing the costs, the operation cost, right? You strive to ensure that your product is, it's a perfect product, 100% perfect. But should your product at the end of the day not be a perfect product, what are the processes that customers should follow to get assistance? Let's look at your iPhone, for instance. It gets broken within 2 months you bought the phone. You have to take it back. If you send it back, what is the turnaround time? How long does it take to get your phone back? Do they give you a new phone, or you're gonna stay 2 months without a phone? What are the processes and the systems in place that can help your product to sell or to deliver services to your customers? Physical evidence. I'm one of those people that found it very difficult to shop online because of physical evidence. If I don't see the shop, I'm not sure if my credentials, I'm not sure if my credit is safe or credit card is safe. So you have those people that do not want to shop online because of such things. As a marketer, how do you tap into my subconscious and make me want to shop online, make me want to say, okay, online shopping is the most convenient shopping ever? But a lot of people want physical evidence. Your buildings should speak a lot about you. Your infrastructure should speak a lot about you. You can't say you are for instance, a university of technology and don't have any technology. Your buildings are old buildings that don't have computers, that don't have Wi-Fi. You know, physical evidence in marketing is important if you want to have loyal customers, if you want to have customers for the rest of your life as an organization. Another principle in marketing important is product mix. As a marketer working in a particular organization, you need to understand the portfolio analysis in order for you to be able to set objectives and achieve those objectives. Understand what product mix is. What can you mix in your product that can make for a prolonged, lifelong relationship with your customers. You want, not only do you want your customers, when they step into your shop, they only buy one product. You want them to buy one product and another product and another product. You want them to have a chain. There's no end to your product. Now there are 4 ways in which you can mix your product. As you can see an example there, you have an electronics company that sells home entertainment, your DVDs, for instance. That is, say that is their main product. They sell DVDs. But if they want to add a new line to their products, they can sell home appliances like your washing machines. Back to Samsung. You know that Samsung is selling a whole lot of things, whole lot of products. Not only do they sell TVs, but they've added a new product line to their products by also producing washing machines, producing stoves, producing your microwaves, and all sorts of things. If you want to lengthen now your product line, you can also add your DVDs, rather your TVs, your phones, and also on all those products. That is now lengthening your product line. But if you want to have a product variance, it means that when you sell a stove, not only do you sell an electricity stove, but you can also add your gas stove. You want to be a one-stop shop. Remember, when you sell a product, you want to be a one-stop shop. People can have all sorts of different things that they can play around, buy, and they know that every time they come to your store, not only do they get one product, but they get products and products worth of their money as well. That is important. You can pursue more product lines if you want. You can just go wild, as long as you do not forget your main product, as long as you do not forget as a company your main purpose of existence. You can be as wild as possible. Okay, say you've done all that product mix, you master product mix, you master your product services, you master all the 4 P's, your product mix and all. But also you need to ensure that your product is always in the conscious mind of your customers. How do you position your product in the minds of your customers? When they see your product or when they buy your product, what does that say to them? Does it speak to their status? Does it speak to their esteem? I mean, you've seen people that buy your Rolex, so they say, your Rolex watches. You know, they will tell you that the X is silent, like the recent advert on TV. The X is silent, but all these people, they hardly wear long sleeve shirts. They will all wear t-shirts and all because they want the watch to be seen by everyone. There's status to wearing such a watch. How do you differentiate your product from the rest? How do you ensure that you gain competitive advantage and you maintain that edge? Is your product different from the rest? Is it easy to copy your product? Does it cost people to copy your product? Make sure that your product is as different as possible. And in differentiating your product, there are a number of ways to differentiating your product. Price wise, You can have products that are the most expensive products, then you know you have differentiated your product from the rest. You can have the least expensive product from the rest. You know that you have differentiated your product. You know that even if you can wear a t-shirt that looks the same, if people know branding, if people know a product, if they know an expensive item, when they see it, they will see it from your product. Even if two people are wearing almost the same thing, but yours will be different, it will be outstanding, right? Branding, branding, branding. A good marketer, an organization that wants to exist for years and years, for generations and generations to come, they focus on branding. And branding can take a form of a name. Branding can take a form of a term, a sign, a symbol, or it can be a combination of all those things. How do you brand your product? For instance, you look at the symbol of McDonald's. Every child in the world, when they see this symbol, they know it's time for lunch. And all parents know that they don't want their kids to see this symbol because it means stopping somewhere. It means that now you have to cough out money that you don't have at times because of the symbol. Nobody needs to say, here's McDonald's. They just need to see that symbol that says M. And all other, there are a number of symbols that you can look at. You look at the Puma symbol, for instance. If it's looking, if it's facing the other direction, then you know it's no longer Puma. It's something else. So this stands out. The symbol should stand out. The branding is important. Lastly, in marketing is your product life cycle. A good, an excellent, an intelligent marketer is one that knows that a product cannot stay indefinitely, that there is a lifespan to every product under the sun at least. So as a good marketer, you need to know the stages of your product. And as your products go through different stages, what you do to ensure that you do not lose momentum? What can you do to ensure that by the time your product reaches the decline stage, you have already introduced a new product? That is important in marketing. Now, going through the product life cycle, this is the graph. Your product will start at the introductory stage. From an introduction stage, it will go into the growth stage, and then slowly it will move into the maturity stage now, where everything is stagnant. There's not much growth happening. Your product is known by everybody. Everyone has tested your product. Everyone has bought your product already. Now they're not really interested in the product anymore. So it reaches that stagnant stage. But then if nothing happens, obviously it will go into the decline stage, where now nobody wants to hear anything about your product. Implications of the product life cycle are: a product or services have limited lifespan. Your product cannot sustain market growth indefinitely, because you are not the only one selling the product. You have competition. So obviously it will not stay in the market indefinitely. You have new entry to the market. That's one threat to you. You will always have new entry to the market. You will always have substitutes to your product. So it cannot stay in the market indefinitely. You have competitors. You have people that have better products today than yesterday's product. So how do you ensure that your product will stay forever? Or even if it doesn't stay forever, but people will always remember you for the good product that you once had. Now, in the introduction stage, if we can quickly go through this, in your introduction stage, this is where you have slow sales increase. Remember, people do not know you. Customers do not know you. The community, they don't know you yet. So obviously the sales will be very slow. But they will increase somehow, but very slow. And your promotional strategy, remember we said in the marketing mix, it is important to have a promotional strategy. Now that strategy, because you are still new in the market, it will be very expensive for you. It will be very costly. But remember what they usually say, you lose before you gain. But you need to know what you're losing to. Don't just lose money. Lose money because tomorrow you are going to gain something. And you're losing money because you want to be known. You're losing money because you want to have customers. You want to have consumers coming and consuming your product. And then slowly you will move from the introduction stage to the growth stage. And when you get to the growth stage, that's when now you know you're having this momentum. There's fast sales, and well, you price your products better than before, because now you know you are here. You know that people know you, customers know you, consumers know you. So your pricing will be better. Distribution wise, now people will know how do they get hold of your product. If you need to deliver, you will have a strategy as to how do you deliver, when do you deliver, how long does it take to deliver. And unfortunately you will move into the maturity stage where you are back to things getting a bit slow. You're getting a market that is a bit saturated, because remember I said you are not the only one. You are not the only company selling a product. You're not the only company that is selling a cell phone. There's Samsung, there's Huawei today, there's Nokia, there's all sorts of companies selling the same item. You are not the only one. The market is saturated. And because the market is saturated, now you are stagnant. You're no longer getting a lot of people buying your product, and then you have less profits as well, because of the obviously because of the competition. And lastly, you will reach a decline stage where now you do not have profit at all, because nobody is buying your product. People have lost interest in your product. But a good marketer is one that says, I will not wait for my product to reach a decline stage. Before it reaches a decline stage, I need to have a strategy on how to modify that product before it reaches a decline stage. That is extremely important. Okay, so that is marketing and diffusion of innovation. This is the end of chapter 11. Thank you very much. Tomorrow I will be giving you a video on chapter 17. It talks about strategy. Thank you for listening.